Hi, my name is Nicole Marcia, and I'm the interim program coordinator at the Langara College Continuing Studies Holistic Health Yoga Programs. And I'm also a yoga therapist, and I work primarily in the field of trauma, mental health, and addictions. I'm here today to share a very brief 15-minute practice with you to support reducing stress, increasing calm, and maybe also learning how to use your body as a resource if you're feeling anxious or having trouble sleeping. So this is a trauma-informed yoga practice, and that means a lot of different things, but primarily what it means for our practice today is that you've got choices in everything that we do here. If something doesn't feel right for your body, you don't have to do it. It also means that the focus of this practice can be more about how things feel for you internally, rather than being concerned about how things might look. So to begin our practice together today, the invitation is to come to a comfortable seated place, whatever that looks like for you. You could bring your hands to rest wherever you like. Your eyes could be open or your eyes could be closed. Whenever you're ready, you could start to drop in to some slow, full breaths. And that might look like slow, full breaths in and out through your nose or through your mouth. If you like, you could start to transition towards deepening your inhale and lengthening your exhale. Deepening your inhale here and lengthening your exhale. And if you are practicing breathing in this way, you might consider that this lengthening of one's exhale is one way to support an experience of calm. So it might be helpful if you're ever feeling anxious to take a pause and to explore deep inhales and long exhales. And to begin our practice together this morning, the invitation is to step into a grounding practice. One way to begin that grounding practice could be to drop your awareness down and to notice where your body is making contact with the support of the floor as you breathe. Grounding techniques can be helpful if we're ever feeling overwhelmed. And one place to begin grounding is by dropping your awareness down and attending to where your body makes contact with the support of the floor. The next part of grounding is an invitation to bring your awareness up to the center of your body. You might consider bringing one hand to rest on your belly and one hand to rest on your chest in this practice, keeping in mind that there's some science that suggests that resting one's hands on one's own body can support an experience of calm and well-being. So if you have your hands resting at your center, you might tune in to the sensation of the weight and the warmth of your hands resting on your body. You might also notice the rise and fall of your body on your inhale and your exhale. And the last step in this grounding technique is an invitation to bring your awareness to the top of your head. And maybe even to lengthen up a little here. To lengthen up through the top of your head as you breathe. And one way that we could begin to introduce a bit of movement practice here is by releasing hands down to a comfortable place. And with eyes open or eyes closed, on an exhale, releasing your right ear towards your right shoulder, taking a few breaths here. Allowing a gentle stretch in the left side of your neck. Deep inhales and long exhales. When you're ready, on an inhale, floating your head to center. In your own time, exhaling, releasing your left ear towards your left shoulder, taking a few breaths here. You might tune in to any differences in sensation or experience that you notice from one side to the other. When you're ready, on an inhale, you could float your head to center. And then perhaps start to explore some larger movements with your head. So allowing your chin to track across your chest. And then tilt up, over and around. Being mindful if you're exploring these circles, not to let your head drop too far back, right? So you can think about keeping the back of your neck sort of long if you're exploring circles. And these could be broad circles or small circles, depending on your comfort. Changing the direction of these circles anytime it feels right for your body. And keep in mind, the invitation in this practice is to consider how things feel internally, rather than getting too caught up in the external appearance of the form. Whenever you're ready, you could bring your head back to center, resting your hands on your knees in preparation for the next form, which is an invitation to explore linking the movement of your body with your breath. With your exhale, you could round your spine, round your shoulders, releasing your chin towards your chest. With your inhale, you could lengthen your spine, drawing your sternum forward, tilting your chin up and looking up. So that's the invitation for flow, to exhale, rounding your spine, releasing your chin towards your chest. And then to inhale, to lengthen your spine, drawing your sternum forward, shoulders back, looking up. And you could continue to flow here at your own pace, moving in a way that feels right for your body. There may be a point in this flow where you feel called to hold, to pause, to breathe, or you could continue to flow from my count of 3. flowing for 2, and one more cycle if you like. So you could exhale to round, and then you could inhale to lift, to lengthen, to look up, and in your own time, coming back to a neutral spine. So when you're ready, you could release your legs out in front of you. If you're like me and you've had a bit of height under your seat, you could remove that now. So with legs extended out in front of you, you might shake your legs out a little bit. And we could start to transition into a couple more seated forms that can be helpful for supporting the activation of the relaxation response, in addition to a few other health benefits that I'm going to talk about as we move our bodies together. So to begin, consider keeping your left leg extended and bringing the sole of your right foot to your left thigh. Your heel could be in pretty close to your groin here, and when you're ready, hands could come to rest on the floor. With your inhale, you could circle your arms up here, and then when you're ready, on an exhale, coming to forward fold. Now hands might land somewhere on the floor, your own leg, might even take hold of your foot here. And we could take a few breaths here together in forward fold. Traditionally, forward folds are seen as being helpful for supporting experiences of calm. So if you're ever feeling stressed out or overwhelmed, you could consider forward fold. You might notice that there's a fair bit of sensation here, in particular in the back of your extended leg, or you might notice sensation showing up elsewhere as well. In your own time, on an inhale, coming up to center. From here, you could close your right knee, sole of your right foot on the floor. And depending on your comfort, your right foot might be a little further away from your thigh, or it might be closer in, your choice. From here, you could take a moment wrapping your left arm around your right knee, and your right hand could come behind you. With an inhale, you can lengthen, and then in your own time, on an exhale, turning to look as far over your right shoulder as you like. Eyes could be open or closed. Deep inhales, long exhales here. So in addition to being one way to support health and mobility in your spine, twists like this can be helpful for supporting digestion. Certainly in times of stress, our digestion can be impacted. So this might be a supportive form for you. And then when you're ready, on an exhale, returning your gaze to center, you could release the form, and we could start to transition towards the other side. Right leg extended, you could bring the sole of your left foot to your right thigh, with your heel in pretty close to your groin. Hands could come to rest at either side of your hips. When you're ready, inhaling, circling your arms up. In your own time, in your own way, exhaling, forward fold over your extended right leg. And what you choose on this side might be different than what you chose on the first for your hands. So your hands might come to rest somewhere on your leg, or maybe you choose to take hold of your foot. Maybe hands feel most at home on the floor. Breathing here. In your own time, on an inhale coming up, we could start to transition towards that twist. So the right leg could stay extended, sole of your left foot on the mat. From here, right arm could wrap around the left leg, left hand could come behind you. With an inhale, you could lengthen through the crown of your head. And then when you're ready on this side, exhale, turning to look as far over your left shoulder as you like. Eyes could be open or closed. Maybe we could take a couple more breaths here together. 2, and 1. With your exhale, returning your gaze to center, you could release the form, making your way back towards a comfortable seated place. When you're ready, on an exhale, releasing your hands towards the floor to your variation of forward fold. You might be real close to the floor in forward fold today, or you might be a little further away. You could release the weight of your head if you choose. Exploring for a few more moments that deep inhale and long exhale. Supporting an experience of calm by lengthening your exhale. And with your next inhale, you can come on up to center, bringing your hands to rest wherever you like. Your eyes could be open or closed. And consider here taking a deep inhale through your nose and an exhale through your mouth. Letting go of any kind of intentional breathing for the practice. Letting your breath come naturally now. And in your own time, in your own way, you could bring yourself back to the closing of this practice. You might gently open your eyes and place your hands into a gesture of completion. So any way of holding your hands that symbolizes that this practice is complete for you. So that might be a way of placing your hands that you've learned in a yoga practice or yoga class. It might be a way of placing your hands that comes from your own ancestry. Or it might be a way of placing your hands that just comes instinctually to you at this moment. You could bow your head towards your heart. Take a moment to acknowledge yourself for showing up, for doing something in service of your own well-being today. And with the understanding that your well-being is linked to the well-being of everybody else in your community and on the planet. And I thank you for sharing your yoga practices with me.